this afternoon while we was just riding around in John Deere, I take the opportunity to tell y'all a little bit about myself. I know most of my subscribers out there are family and friends. Most of them know who I am. They've known me all my life. There's probably a few out there that don't. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself, or if you don't know me, you had a little bit of an idea of my background. Farmed with my dad, my family, my brother, uncles, all through the 70s, 80s, 90s. My dad, he farmed, didn't do a lot of acres, but he had raised cattle, done corn, grain, different grains, raised tobacco, started back in around 1970, raising tobacco. That's what we did throughout the 70s and 80s, and as me and my brother got older, the acres got larger. By the mid-90s, we were doing a few hundred acres of grain. Had about 35, 36 acres of tobacco, most of that being early. Had a few acres of dark area. But the grain prices in the 90s was tough. We was farming river bottoms, lost a lot of crops in those bottoms. We always managed to do pretty good on tobacco. That's one thing that was pretty steady. Had a herd of cattle, I think at one time probably had close to 100 head of cattle that we were running. A couple, 300 head of hogs. We've done feeder pigs, we've done farm houses, we had an operation where we topped hogs out for a long time. And a lot of our grain farming, that was the bulk of what we were doing with it. We were converting it into feed, not selling a lot of it on the market. You know, until up into the 90s, and then we got the market in a bunch of our grain. But like I said, the grain prices were bad in the 90s. So we got out of the grain farming, sold our equipment, continued to raise tobacco. My dad retired. Me and my wife continued to raise tobacco for a few years. Girls were small and had plenty of things we wanted to do with them, so we decided to give it a break for a while. Along in the early 2000s, we got out of farming altogether, other than just some very limited things that we did. We pulled with a little corn, always kept an animal or two, pulled with a little corn, feed our animals, maybe a little hay. Nothing to try to make money out. So to make a long story short, girls are grown. My oldest girl's married. Been married now, soon to be 8 years. Got 2 grandsons. The youngest girl, she's getting married in June. They're on their own and out of the house and got their own things going on. So along about that time, I realized I really missed it. So me and my wife decided we'd get us another place and have enough ground to have something to fool with. So we bought this farm here last summer. This farm here last summer. Of course, I said before it was leased to another farmer. He was farming part of it and cutting hay off part of it, and so we had to wait until he got all of his obligated to him for last year, so I didn't have a lot of opportunity to get a head start on anything last fall. That's one reason I'm out here now, just now breaking some of these fields up. We're going to raise corn here this year. Gonna have hay. We'll have about 20 acres of hay here on this place. Plan on square baling that, small square bales. So we'll be trying to sell the majority of that. We don't need too awful much to feed. The rest of it we'll be raising corn on. And I've got some small acreage around the house that I'll have corn on as well that we'll be picking on the ear for our goats, of course for deer corn. Everything over here will probably be sold. So really looking forward to everything. I've enjoyed myself so far. Just getting the equipment gathered up, back together. Most everything that you're going to see us working with, we purchased in the last year. I do still have a couple old tractors that I've had for a long time. Some of the equipment's been around for a long time, but the majority of the stuff we'll be working with has been purchased in the last year. Now most of it's not new by any means, just like this tractor we're in right now. This is the 1974 model. I bought this tractor last summer. Didn't really have anything to do with it, but I knew I'd need it eventually, so I found it. Felt like I got a good deal on it. I went ahead and bought it. Just now getting to try it out and see what it's going to do. So far, with the few hours I've put on it, it's done very well, so hopefully it'll hold up. All of our hay equipment that we bought is new to us. I didn't have any hay equipment left. Well, I did have a sickle bar mower that I kept, but I won't be cutting any hay with that one unless I just have to. But got a 630 John Deere Loco that I bought. It's I think a 2011 model. So it's a few years old, but it's in really good shape. You'll get to see it in the field here before long. Probably another 5 or 6 weeks we'll be cutting hay. Got a John Deere 328 square baler, and I did buy it new. That's one thing I wanted, was a good baler, because I'm really limited for time. Right now I'm still working a public job. I work a lot of hours. So when I go to the field, I need to be able to get done what I need to get done, and not drag it out for a number of days. So I was looking at used balers that were good shape, ones that you can take to the field and have confidence that they were going to perform for you without having to work on them. Surprisingly, there was very little difference in the price of a really good used baler and a new one. So I just bought a new one. So we're looking at having probably in the neighborhood of 3,000 bales that we'll be baling this year. So you'll get to see it running quite often. And this is what I've done most all my life. Grew up farming. Just everybody around me, all the family, my grandparents on both sides, farm. It's just what I know. So I'd rather be riding in this tractor today than I had me out on a golf course or out doing some activity like that. I just rather, I like the solitude. It feels like I'm accomplishing something. It's work that you can be proud of, and I just really enjoy it. I've tried those other things. I've got nothing against playing golf. I like playing golf. I do a lot of wished a lot of times, me and my wife talk about it, especially since we started this channel. I wish I could have filmed what we used to do and the characters that we were around. There's nothing you can watch on TV or find or do entertainment wise that I think would be any better or any more entertaining than some of the people I've been around in my life. Back from the late 80s through the 90s, we do have a bunch of VHS tapes that we made, and we're going to dig those out. We're going to try to get those converted over to digital. I may show some clips of some stuff here on the channel through the years. My dad, he loved to talk. He'd talk to anybody, he'd talk to everybody. He loved to tell you what he liked to do. He loved to show you what he liked to do. And we've got video of him doing some of those things. I'd like to get that on here and share it. Got videos of some of the equipment we used to run back in the early days. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get that converted to where you can see it on YouTube. I'm going to try. I'm going to see what I can do with it. Hey, one more little story I want to tell you, or one more thing I want to tell you, a little story. I'll soon be 52 years old here in July. I'm 51 right now. So my grandfather on my dad's side, my grandpa Stinson, he passed away in 1982, age of 79. Now, some of y'all, you may think 1982 was a long time ago, and it was a long time ago. But you know, I can remember it well. I was 13 years old. But I thought this might be interesting to you. You know, we talk about farming, and we see the technology and the machinery and things that is used today, and then the advancements, and I still like the older stuff. That's what I like it. I like older stuff of anything, not just farm equipment, but there's some great technology out there today. But what I'm trying to say is, my grandpa, he would, you know, I don't know that he ever owned a tractor. I think he did have one tractor, just for a very short time, and he sold it to my uncle, and it was probably 1920 something model, 1930 something. It was an old steel wheel tractor, and I've never seen it run. I've seen it set at my uncle's, but it was years before me. But he was a mule man. He farmed with mules, and he never farmed real big, but he farmed what he needed to do to take care of his family and raise a crop for his family and his animals. And he always used mules. He used mules right up till he was unable to get out and work with them. And like I said, he passed away in 1982. He never owned a vehicle, never had a driver's license. He did work. He did hold public jobs, but he would ride a horse or a mule or catch a train that come through there at that time, and or walk to work, riding a wagon, road wagon behind mules or whatever. But he was old-fashioned, and he lived that way. He lived and done what he knew, and I've listened to him tell stories all my life, you know, up till his passing, and all that's really interested me. But you know, farming has got a lot of different faces. We see the big guys, we see the people out there that are up in the tens of thousands of acres and more, that is providing the bulk of the grain and food. And then we see the little guys that are either just doing to try to make a little extra money, or doing it to provide something healthy and fresh for their families, or maybe just doing it because they love it. And I guess that's kind of where I fall. Like, I'm trying to make money at what I'm doing. I need to make money, but I'm basically doing it because that's what I want to do. And hopefully we'll be successful at it. But hey, I really do thank y'all for watching. I'm glad you're there. I hope I didn't bore you too much today. I thank you for listening, and if you're still hanging around at this time in the video, I really do appreciate it, and I thank you. So anyway, tomorrow maybe we'll get on to some chisel plowing, and I'll try to make some video of the 4430 with the chisel plow. So you can be looking for that coming up soon, hopefully. But that'll be it for today, and I really do appreciate it. Remember, if you like our videos, hit the like button, subscribe, and I appreciate your support. So we'll see you next time.